speaking of that, John, I thought I would do our one of our bits.
Okay.
Okay, and I thought, in honor of Roy Moore, I would actually give you the, you know how I usually do the 6 biggest or the 7 biggest or the whatever?
Sure.
I thought today I'd actually do the top 10 commandments. No, just kidding. That's not in honor of Roy Moore. No, this is back on the racism stuff and the NFL stuff, okay?
Yes.
Because that was the biggest story, right?
That's all anyone's
talking about. So I thought this week...
Sorry we didn't talk about you, Puerto Rico.
We'll give them an honorable mention at the end. Cuck of the week, Puerto Rico, John.
It's a little insensitive, but October 13th, I am doing a charity show for Puerto Rico.
Very nice.
At the Open Stage Club.
I appreciate that. I'm going to see if I can get on that show, too, and steal your thunder.
I'll put a good word in for you, Ethan. Well, we'll see how the roast goes, actually.
Yeah, we will see how that goes.
Yeah, we will, Ethan.
John, you're like, John's like, hey, are you? You seem worried about this, Ethan.
You seem to be stressing
nervous.
the format a lot, you know.
No, I didn't understand how it worked, but I
surprise.
got clarification, so I'm excited about it. Okay, so John, this week, here's the bit. So this week, I thought I would give our listeners. This is the 6 biggest changes Trump would make to the NFL.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So once again, this is the 6 biggest changes Trump would make to the NFL. Number 6, when on the road, teams work as janitors in Trump hotels to, quote, remember how grateful they should be. Number 5, let's move more teams out of the inner city and into opioid-addicted middle America. The real America, John.
Yeah.
Number 4, creation of 2 new teams. The New York Chokeholds and the Ferguson Police Batons. Blue Lives Matter. Okay, number 3, more steroids, less helmets.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, let's make the game a little more fun. That's what Trump said. Number 2, no more disrespecting the Confederate flag.
Yes.
And the number 1 biggest change Trump would make to the NFL. Cheerleaders, smaller butts, blonder hair. I don't like that last one. I don't care about the hair.
I'm sorry, that's something we can all get behind, Ethan, you know.
I cannot get behind that. Well, I know we got some, enough about Trump. I know we got some conspiracy stuff to do, right? And some cuck of the week.
We do.
But first, last week I didn't have a list for our listeners, remember?
Oh, we got a lot of emails about that.
I know. They were sorely disappointed in me, and I apologize once again, but I did promise this week I would have a list. The reason I didn't last week, by the way, is because I had spent all of my time crafting roast jokes that I had hoped would defeat John Gregory.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I won, because to be honest, if I had lost, it really would have been for naught. But
well, it was for naught because you came in second place. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Second place, man. Second place.
If you ain't first, you're last. Ethan.
Number 2. That means I'm shit, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so John, let's just stick with this theme for a minute, because this week, what I thought I would do for the
list.
the biggest. The list is this one is a special one just for you, John, because these are the 11 biggest rejected roast jokes for John Gregory.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
I had all these
11.
I had 11 jokes I didn't use.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna make you sit here and listen to them.
Jesus Christ.
If you didn't feel cucked before, John.
Hey, if our listeners want to turn on NPR or anything else.
Yeah, literally anything else. All right, so these are the jokes that I wrote with Eric, and we'll see if you feel
I didn't have any help with my jokes, by the way.
Properly roasted after this, John. Once again, you got to accept other cultures, John. It's a positive thing. Okay, so these are the 11
HIV positive.
these are the 11 biggest rejected roast jokes for John Gregory. Number 11. I'll never forget the first time I met John at an open mic. He came right up to me and said, "Great to meet you. By the way, did you know the Holocaust is a Jewish lie?" Number 10. It's easy to compare John Gregory to Donald Trump. They're both giant white men who bully people online. They both hate Muslim comedians. And they're both hated by a majority of women voters. Number 9. But John Gregory's not racist like Donald Trump. Donald Trump denies his racism. John Gregory embraces it. Donald Trump once said that he doesn't even know who David Duke is. John Gregory is who David Duke is. Number 8. John is famous for being racist. Oh, wait, let me correct that. John's not famous. He's racist and no one knows who he is.
Hey-o!
Number 7. Every time I see John, he's wearing that same golf shirt and shorts. I know he's a fan of The Simpsons, but even Matt Groening drew a new outfit for Bart every once in a while.
I don't think he did.
On like a special episode or something.
Okay, when he goes to church.
Bart's Halloween episode or whatever. Yeah, his church outfit, exactly. Number 6, John's fascination with The Simpsons is weird, but I kind of get it. After all, The Simpsons hasn't been funny since the Bush administration, and John Gregory's racism hasn't been funny since the Lincoln administration.
Simpler times.
Number 5, John has a girlfriend, according to his profile pic. He didn't meet her on a dating app, but he did meet her online, a website called Shutterstock.com. I've never met your girlfriend, but apparently she exists, is the point of that joke.
I don't think people get the Shutterstock reference, though.
Number 4, John's a huge fan of meritocracy. If you don't know what that is, it's the political philosophy where you inherit money from your dad and use it to buy weed.
That was pretty good.
Number 3, nothing about John's life has any substance at all. He spends all day on the internet, his girlfriend's imaginary, and his mom's a ghost.
Oh, my God.
Didn't use that one, John.
Good call.
Number 2, Fassel's a terrorist, John Gregory's a Nazi. Watching them feud, it's hard to know who to root for. Like, who do I want, Osama bin Laden or Hitler? Isn't there a third choice? You don't like that one? All right. And the number 1 biggest rejected roast joke for John Gregory. I'll tell you a secret about John Gregory. His middle name, Kofeve.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That one's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
So thanks, John. Thanks for indulging me. I think our listeners enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, I can't speak for the listeners, but I thought it was shit.
I will. I'll speak for the listeners. There's a couple good ones in there, you know?
Okay, here's one for Ethan right off the top of my dome. He's a huge faggot.
That was funny. I was taking a sip of coffee, and I did a spit take. Not my first. Hey-o. This is an exciting one, and actually it'll lead us into our biggest. I have a list for you this week, John. Remember last week I
Yeah, I do remember it.
I did a list, but it was a comedy list based on.
I got a lot of messages saying like, "Boy, how did Ethan beat you?" Like that was his top 10. Holy crap!
No, those were the rejected jokes. Those were the jokes I didn't use. They weren't good enough to use.
I'll say.
So last week I did the rejected roast jokes for John, but this week, back to our regularly scheduled program. We'll do some sort of more culture and political oriented stuff.
And don't worry, folks, we're going to breeze through this and then get real quick to Cuck of the Week and Conspiracy Friday.
Oh yeah, don't worry. That's coming up real soon. But so this week you may have seen this, John. Donald Trump is saying that he's just a red cunt hair away from finally releasing those JFK documents.
Oh my God!
It's funny because it's always you look on Politico or something, and it's like there's these stories, and it'll be like Trump may release documents.
I love that.
Trump says he's definitely going to release documents, and it's like, will Trump release the documents? And I'm like, this is 3 stories, and it's because Trump changes his mind. Like, also that happened with healthcare too this week, where Trump was like, I love this new healthcare bill, bipartisan. That's what I was asking for. Then he's like, no, I'm not doing that one. Then he's like, well, maybe I'll do it. Then he's like, well, I need to see more, but okay, I'll definitely do it. But
well, see, that's the thing I don't think people understand about Donald Trump. It's like, oh, he lied on this. It's like, no, he literally just says whatever comes to his head, and he changes his mind a lot.
Yeah, he's just making stuff. He's
improvising.
He's spitballing, man.
He's just throwing stuff against the wall. Like, I'll never forget that one line he had from his speech where he's like giving a rally and he's like, boy, you folks sure love your Second Amendment, don't you? And everyone's like, yeah. And he's just like, okay, whatever,
So I don't know if Trump's going to release them or what he's going to release or whatever.
Fingers crossed.
But this week I thought I would stick with that theme because it's kind of fun, JFK stuff. Let's stick with that.
Oh, yeah, the assassination of the only Catholic president. So fun, Ethan.
I thought it was hilarious. And so this is the 7 biggest reasons Trump will release the secret JFK documents. Okay, John, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the 7 biggest reasons Trump will actually release the secret JFK documents. Okay, number 7. Appeasing the base. It was either this or appoint Alex Jones as Secretary of Energy. Number 6. The new docs show that during Oswald's time in Moscow, he solicited donations for Bill Clinton's first gubernatorial run. I don't know if the timeline lines up there, but that stuff doesn't matter anymore, John.
Oh, that's good.
Number 5, he's working on a special promotional deal. 1 JFK document free with every 5 nights you spend at a Trump hotel. And number 4, he's going to restore faith and credibility in the American government. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a joke answer. I don't know how that got in there, actually. What was I thinking? Number 3, there's no need for Bannon to primary Ted Cruz, as he will be shot by Jack Ruby's son when the truth finally comes out. A little of the apple falling from the tree kind of joke, yeah. Number 2, it initially started when, to appeal to, quote, the blacks, Trump accidentally confused JFK with MLK. And the number 1 biggest reason Trump will actually release the secret JFK documents, finally, Oswald's secret Russian code name will be revealed. Kofeve.
I knew it. God damn it. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Shit. I'm quitting the show.
Oh,
God,
yes.
Ethan. You get way too much joy out of that.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, I love the Kofeve jokes. I wonder if, like, how much liberals know I'm mocking them when I do a Kofeve joke.
Yeah, that's the problem, It's like, hey, your ironic supporting of Democrats is going too far, Ethan.
It's like your ironic Nazism. It's like, hey, John, come on.
No, mine's harmless.
No, I love you liberals, but seriously, Kofeve, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, seriously, God.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's just a funny word. So it's like, I feel like it's like back in the day when Letterman used to always. Have you, like if you watch Letterman's top 10 list in the 80s.
If you watch Letterman's top 10 list, you probably hate the show by now.
God. All right. Well, John? Do you have like a cuck of the week and Conspiracy Friday and any of that stuff?
I don't have a Conspiracy Friday, but of course I have a cuck of the week.
Okay, well, hang on to that for a second. We'll get to that in just a second, John, because I have the big list this week. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
Good.
know. I know you're excited.
Our favorite segment.
And your favorite segment too. And this week, hey John, did you know this? It's Halloween.
I did know that.
Yeah, it's Halloween, and everyone's talking about what they're going to dress as, and their Halloween parties are going to go to, and I thought I'd take a break from the usual political commentary this week and just give our listeners some tips on what they might dress as for this Halloween.
That's kind of you, Ethan.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yeah. So I thought, I'd give them basically some, because there's so much concern these days about political correctness with the costumes and cultural appropriation, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I thought this week I would give our listeners the 7 biggest Mean and Sober approved Halloween costumes.
Okay.
All right, so this is the 7 biggest Mean and Sober approved Halloween costumes. Okay, you ready? Number 7, Casper the Friendly Klansman. Number 6, Pennywise the Dancing Geisha. It's a movie tie-in with it, yeah. Number 5, Radicalized Aladdin.
Well, I think that's a little redundant, isn't it?
That's not a lamp, it's a detonator. Okay. Number 4, Daenerys Stormtrooper, Mother of Grand Dragons. another media tie-in.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of fun.
Number 3, She-Male Pocahontas.
Anyways.
Pocatrantis. Okay. Number 2, Harvey Weinstein wearing a yarmulke but no pants.
Jesus Christ, man.
And the number 1 biggest Mean and Sober approved Halloween costume, blackface Hitler. So, we assure our listeners, if you wear these, there'll be a conversation starter.
But, you have to have, I think with the blackface Hitler thing, like some people are going to be like, oh my God, are you Obama with a Hitler mustache? It's like, no, goodness. That's offensive. No, I'm making fun of Hitler, not Obama.
Yeah, how dare you? Yeah. Yeah, exactly.